when you play like how you played, there's nothing that can really be expected. Unfortunately, you didn't have the best performances. It was your fate. You're in the low bracket, and maybe you can make a run. Maybe the team can sit down, have a chat, see what they can work on. But we see Neon. They've been playing a lot of this Mirana lately, and pairing it with a high amount of heroes. They're able to have this blink effect of going in, stunning, and then setting up for that arrow follow-up.
I mean, Play Hard plays it well. It does mean that you're a little bit predictable at times, and I mean, with this Grimstroke, it was kind of something that I was maybe thinking about for the lane combination with 1, 2, 3, and Ace playing together. You just use the Inkswell onto one of the wolves, and then you're able to get that initial stun in. Not if they get arrowed, though, and that might make things a little difficult for them, but we've seen so many times tons of stuff that are able to set up for this arrow now. Spear, Tiny Toss, Searing Chains. Playhard's going to have a good game regardless, and he can't be the one that they go for with these kills either on Lilgun, because as soon as he's level 2, he's just going to leap on away.
Is this a 5 tiny then?
Possible. Jiao's played it several times.
Do you feel like that's a little bit too greedy though, going for the 5 tiny? Because I feel like he's a support that very much relies on experience.
He is, but you're going to be in lane, right? So at least you're going to be soaking up that experience. What a lot of tinies do, if they rotate and they don't get kills in that position 4 role, they can fall off quite quickly. Hell, I mean, it's Neon. They could be trying something a little bit different. It could be a 5 Ember Spirit for all we know.
Very true. What you were saying they were pulling out like the Faceless Void as a 5 at some stage.
Troll.
Yeah.
3 Enchantress a few times, which isn't as crazy, but still, no one else was doing it at the time.
The crazy thought of heading into a Neon draft and not really knowing who's going to be playing what, with all that flexibility and all the craziness that can come through in a draft. But for Lilgun, they're a little bit more predictable, which is something that has kind of bit them on the back so far throughout the upper division, and it looks like so far as well through the Loopbet Pro Series.
I feel like it's pretty clear that they might be doing some kind of experimenting here with Neon. Maybe they will go for one of these really unorthodox picks, and Lilgun are probably the opponent to do it against. I think, Neon have already played South build, so if you're thinking about like an easy win, then maybe this is the time to do it in an official as opposed to just a scrim. Remaining. But I mean, you have to think about, you do need to make it through to the upper division, upper bracket, and be one of those top 4 spots. And you would probably say that SNG probably aren't going to get there because they're 4 and 6 at the moment. But you've still got Omega Esports on 6 and 4 losses, which isn't great. But if they go on a bit of a winning streak, then upper bracket might be a bit out of reach for you. So you can't be I don't want to say throwing, but just giving up games because of trying something new and crazy all the time.
It's 10 seconds remaining.
I'm just trying to see on how they are able to go for their last pick on Lilgun. Because what are we looking for? Their Marvel hero? So
team ban.
They actually even ban out the Husker just to make sure. Which I don't know where it was.
I think that's a little surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally Marvel's played like a Beastmaster in the off lane that kind of complements the Lycan push strat a little bit. Don't know how strongly I feel about it, but they've done it.
It's always... we've heard it a couple times now, but every time we hear it the first time in a game or in the series when we cast Neon, it's just kind of... you still get a chuckle out of it. It's still always funny to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
5 seconds.
It's a shame that they're not spamming out MLP's line, though. It's not as useful at all stages of the game as these two are,
The Legion Commander. Okay.
Makes sense.
They're just instantly into it. They're gonna go mag. Okay. I was contemplating on whether this tiny was gonna actually get flexed or not, but it will be Xiao on the tiny. Natsumi picking up the position 1 Magnus.
Didn't work out too well for, was it Omega that
Yep.
picked it up?
Yep.
So we'll see what they're able to do with it this time around. I feel like the rest of the draft is much better. And you also know that you're going to be playing into three melee cores, which is nice. I think that game, he was the only one that could take advantage of the Empower truly for himself. So that's always going to be good. And now you can even give it over to Yopaj, get a little bit of that cleave happening with the Sleight of Fist. So it's going to be quite nice. And we've seen CTM go absolutely bonkers on his Mars before, getting to that early level 25, God's Rebuke, able to crit for a high amount. And if you're just amping that up with even more base damage from the Empower, it's going to be feeling good. It's just getting to that stage. How is the lane going to go? That's what I've got in mind in particular for this Jiao Natsumi sort of arrangement. Maybe they're going to go for some tricky lane plays, toss into Skewer underneath the tower and try and get some early kills that way.
Yeah, it's a lot of kind of cute plays that we could see come through. Overall, though, like the Mag versus Lycan matchup is something that I'm intrigued about. Is it going to be a solid time when Mag is kind of able to stand his ground versus the Lycan, or does Lycan come out ahead in that matchup?
I think they're going to be just fine on Neon to be able to dodge this out, right? It's going to be the Mars that goes down, if anything, unless they make a play at level 1 before Playhard's got that leap available. So I think Neon are fine with how all these lanes have shaped up.
Heading into this game 1, we're going to see a couple comfort heroes. Yopaj on his Ember, 1, 2, 3 on the Lycan. They're also going to be able to get an easy D ward too.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
Now, do you give it? No, okay. Ace is like, I want the gold. I was going to say, maybe you give it to the Sanctity.
He'd already bought the wards anyway, so it would have gone to him anyway. I think everyone shared the experience for that as well. Yep, so everyone's just on a tiny little bit of tick of XP, 10 XP for everyone.
Now, Radiant, they're going to have a little bit better information here if a brawl breaks out.
Your admiral is on board.
Xiao. Toss
Oh,
back.
the toss.
Skewer.
What did I say?
There's the play
What did I
bringing
say?
up. Januel, cute start there with the toss. And now Neon all of a sudden have a numbers advantage and Lilgun just have to retreat away. But Neon, they're not looking to give them an opportunity. They really want to contest the other rune. Unfortunately, they're not as fast as a Legion.
Jungling, let's push.
Especially when he used those overwhelming odds too. Just even a couple of seconds on cooldown on the Skewer at least. So I don't think they would have been able to make that secondary playthrough. But, I mean, it gets them a guaranteed first kill. Why not? And even gets spread. Man, that is the longest kill feed thing I've ever seen in my life. 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes.
Oh, yeah.
So the only one that wasn't part of that was the Mars, I believe? Yeah. I don't think he was able to get a hit onto him with CTM.
Look out for fallen rock.
Again? Surely not. Oh no, Marvel?
I love it when a plan works.
Look at all that damage. That is not going to be a fun time to lane to. And Xiao's probably going to block the hard camp just so they can't reset the equilibrium. Because that's going to be really important. If they are anywhere near this top tower, you see how easily it is to put them back. I mean, Marvel actually might be dead.
Run away. Run away from the big rock man.
Oh my lord.
Good jukes needed, and to be fair, good jukes obtained.
What did you learn?
It puts him in such a hard spot, right? Because he needed to level that overwhelming odds for that river engagement to make sure he didn't die as well. But the result is that, you're needing to use it to secure the range creep. And that just slowly pushes the wave forward for you, considering you're pushing faster than the creeps are able to normally do. So it puts you in a vulnerable position. Jiao, again, they're going to go for something, but probably not onto Hishki, considering he is level 2 now on that next assassin. He's got the Spike Carapace available, but Marvel, just off the mark.
Now with that toss on cooldown might give us a bit of a break in the action up top. It's a lane that I don't really want to go away from because of the crafty plays that we could see, but we'll see how mid will fare between Sanctity and Yopaj, some two very, very high skilled position 2 players. Looks like Yopaj, she's going to shove out the lane and make sure he can get a bottle already. Oh no.
Even the shockwave for the slow, the avalanche. See ya, Marvel.
Was it worth your life to try?
This is, I don't see how it's going to get any easier though. And
it's not. Long story short, it's not. He's even been on point, Zhao, with being able to body block both of the hard cam on both of those times.
Rolling out.
how's the unblock going though, at least for Radiant?
They've done it again.
Again? Hishki,
It's
I
on
look
Hishki
away
this
and then
time.
as soon as I come back,
Crushed you.
like, what is this? Oh my god, this combo is actually filthy. This is so filthy. I was thinking that maybe Natsumi wouldn't, like, yes, you'd level in power, but maybe you wouldn't use it just because you'd now start to shove out the lane, which is, that's how you're getting the kills. How's bot going though for Lilgun? Maybe this is the lane where they're able to catch up potentially and have a strong time.
It's going okay. I mean, 1, 2, 3. Again, you're not going to have an easy time getting kills against this Mirana, right? You can see he's already been forced to use a couple of those leaps, and it was really just to avoid some of these kill attempts that have come from the Grimstroke and the Lycan combination with Inkswell. So it feels like a kind of passive start for Lilgun, right? Really looking for like a crazy play to come mid from Sanctity to be able to get an early kill onto Yopaj, and we know how hard that can be.
Yeah, do you feel like who's going to be the X factor here for Lilgun to kind of start making these plays? I know we're only 4 minutes in, but is there one person in particular we could see?
It has to be Sanctity. Like, he is the only one right now that feels like he's having a good time in his lane. He's able to make something happen super early on, but Ember Spirit probably one of the hardest heroes to do that into. Don't think that was even a tower toss. Might cost Natsumi his life though.
Has he got enough regen with the bracer to win this man fight? He doesn't. Hishki's impales back up, and with the full wave of creeps, is going to push back Januel, but stick charges into the toss is not enough mana, so Hishki will keep his life.
Even would have the spike carapace available again very shortly, so just be very careful here. Even pop the Tango as well to try and live through that Natsumi, so finally something going not so great for that top lane.
Never refuse gold given.
Finally. They've had some crafty plays and seen at least something come back into their favor. Because like you were saying though, the lane that's going pretty well for Radiant at the moment is mid for Sanctity's Conquer. Another skewer back. I mean, Marvel's got some movement speed in the odds, but he is going to die for a 3rd time in the laning stage.
Even with all this though, not a huge amount of net worth going over to the Magnus. The plus side is, you talked about needing all of this experience and levels and money through for the Tiny. Zhao's having a good time. You know, he's ahead of Play Hard right now on the net worth. He's already picked up his Tranquil Boots. He's going to be able to have a good time in the laning stage. Man, they even kill.
Yeah, they're going to get
Outside
both
now.
actually. I think one more right click. Play hard,
the
then
tower might be
vision,
hard.
CTM, oh he goes for it. Turn for the bulwark. No!
He doesn't have level
Oh,
yet.
he doesn't have it, never mind. The 0 level bulwark, unfortunately, is not a thing. I tried to make something up there, but they get 2 kills out of it, so Neon, all lanes looking pretty solid for them.
I mean, to be fair, he still has the shield, right? So you could assume that you might be able to withstand some of the damage.
Yeah.
Radiant structures are
Natsumi?
fortified.
They've got Grim here. Yopaj making a rotation.
My searing chains.
They're making him work for it. There's even a rat from Genuel. He's only got the avalanche to play with at the moment. Yopaj, how deep do you want to play?
Not under a tower, Yopaj.
He's even actually opted for a maxed out Flame Guard build this game here for the Ember.
I mean, there's no way for the Conquer to get rid of it, right? So it's what you're able to use to harass him out a little bit more in lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Even got that value point in the chains to set up for the arrow. Conker's not going to be easy to bring down, and in fact, he's just going to boat TP out.
No good for you.
1, 2, 3. It is going to be into this Lycan build that we've been seeing a lot more recently here. It's got that Echo Saber already queued up with the power treads completed. I'm excited to see how it's still going to end up faring, because it does feel like Dire, regardless, are really going to be able to stand their ground and not really care about the Lycan, you know, running up in their face. Heroes like the Mars, the Mag, the Ember.
Speaking of all of them, they're making a rotation through. They'll get the kill onto Hishki, play hard picking it up for himself, but not taking advantage of the fact that they've got all of these easy setups for the arrow, tons of stuns on their lineup, and the Urn of Shadows is going to start ticking up as well.
Of course.
What do we want to call this little combo that's going on here between Natsumi and Zhao? Is it like the alley-oop? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I reckon so. That was definitely... It's nothing better than what I would have been able to come up with. Alley-oop, that works. I like it. Now we're going to have to remember the alley-oop combo. They wouldn't pull it out in second game, would they? They'd just first phase it?
I mean...
Surely.
You never know.
First phase, that you get second pick just so you can go Tiny Mag. That's quite a combo.
What?
Alright, we got this level 6 on the Lycan now. What's he going to look to do? He's finally been able to pick up enough gold to at least get the Ogre Axe, so a lot more increased survivability when he does choose to pop the Shapeshift, more damage as well. It's still going to be hard to take out any heroes though, right? Like Zhao, they've given him a little bit more farm on this top side. This is the advantage of running this Magnus lineup, right? Is that you can afford to give all of this this safe lane farm to your support. It's still only 9 minutes. You've basically just decimated Legion Commander's net worth to be able to start the game. So he's not going to be able to get any sort of kill attempts, and you've got Max in power. So you can just go to the jungle and be totally fine.
And Natsumi's actually thinking about getting involved here. Yopaj embraced up. Carapace stun as well. Yopaj just gets back to safety. And now with the Flame Guard to protect him from the magic damage, Yopaj can disengage thanks to all the ultimates drop. And RP Arena controlling Lilgun. They haven't found any kills just yet. So that means Neon with the numbers advantage. 1, 2, 3 will show up. But the damage is very much lacking. In fact, the chain sets up for the arrow, all the stuns. 1, 2, 3 come back to safety. The press the attack just a little bit too late, and no one's weak enough for Marvel to turn for a duel victory. So they're gonna have to try and disengage further past the tier 1 tower. But Neon, the unrelentless pressure is gonna end up costing them Yopaj's life.
The classic Hishki snipe, able to pick up Yopaj at the end of it all, and well, they might even get a secondary kill here onto Zhao, so not the worst. It took still a long time for Neon to get any sort of kills onto Lilgun's side. Just shows the strength that even a gimped Legion Commander is able to get a lot done with all that movement speed. Conquer as well on this bit more of a brawling style. So phase boots going straight into that armlet, so they're going to be able to counter some of the aggression that Neon are throwing at them. Is it going to be enough though? That's the question.
Yopaj. What's he opting for to? Looks like Maelstrom's going to be his item. And I like what you were bringing up before that fight is what the Magnus is able to provide your supports. Like you can fall back to the jungle very early on, give that safe lane over to a support, which was the Tiny. And that's something that I was actually a little bit worried about as a position 5 Tiny. You really rely on levels here. That's where a lot of your burst comes through. And even like Blink Dagger on this hero can just make you so much more impactful. So, you know, the fact that they're able to give him this really valuable couple of, you know, little waves up top, and well, we see Januel getting involved here. Avalanche toss combo sets up for the arrow. They're going to try and bring down play hard first. They will be able to do so. Januel as well. X drag back into the boat. Carapace stops a spear. Great use from Hishki's Nyx Assassin. And Radiant, they're causing too much chaos in this skirmish, so it's going to force Neon to think otherwise about walking up that aggressively to the triangle.
Things are just gone a little bit off for Lilgun, but they're still doing a good job. You know, they realized the smoke was coming. They used the scan, didn't quite connect in onto it. You know, just the superior teamfight execution coming through from Neon, able to turn things around, but it was still a 2 for 3. The downside is, though, it was a 2 for 3 when you were in a 5v4 situation.
Oh, nice dodge, Yopaj. He's still gonna be careful. He's really playing with fire right now, Natsumi. RP's available. They've already used the press attack, so they won't be able to get out of the RP stun lock. It's a big kill to pick up as well on top of the Conquer. We saw Sanctity has always been that saving grace for Lilgun. And now even coming on over. Yeah, there's the fat Ancient's taken away.
Oh no.
Dire's middle tower is
I just
under
like that
attack.
they had a clear plan in mind. Oh, they found out a. See you later, buddy.
One more who will get it. Yopaj with the flame break. Sorry, with the flame guard burn. This is too fast tempo for Radiant to deal with, it looks like.
That's when Neon are at their best. Just playing too fast for the enemy team. And, you know, you can see here Natsumi, he's even just gone a Mask of Madness on this Magnus. So they wanted to make sure that he was paired together with something else that's able to do really well in the laning stage. And we saw that they did. And then once the LC was neutered, give that farm, give that experience over to Zhao. Go on jungle. Jungle, don't team fight with us. Come in at the very last second and just enable yourself to flash farm because of all of that. They don't even need a Blink Dagger on him, right? You can just toss in the mag.
Very true, yeah. Frees up his item build a lot here with what they can do.
You kind of feel like you have to, right, as well. He's the position one. You can't be spending that much gold on something that's not going to actually increase your damage or increase your teamfight potential.
Yeah, we see like there's a very few position ones that feel comfortable with going for something like a Blink, but that's really when we see they have like a swift Blink build up. You know, there's not many that just like that casual Blink there. Like you said, you really all in on the damage. That's where you've got other roles to fulfill the ways to get in top of the fights.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand it on the likes of like, I don't know, a CK or a Wraith King, just because, you know, with their Blink in, with the Blink Dagger cooldown, at least you've got, you know, relatively low cooldown abilities that you want to use alongside it. You've got the Reality Rift, you've got the Chaos Bolt, you've got the Wraith Fire Blast, whereas with the Magnus, you basically just got the RP. You know, the Shockwave is nice and you're able to do something with the Blink Dagger, but it's not quite the same level of impact. That's not the main purpose or the reason that you buy the Blink Dagger. So I think just holding off on it for now and allowing the Tiny to do your initiations for you is the perfect way to play.
You have been...
Yeah, and you see that like Radiant, they don't really have ways to start these fights with how poor of a lane Marvel had. You're now really relying on the Nyx Assassin Vendetta to maybe get a pick off. You know, it feels really awkward having Lycan start a fight with Shapeshift, and you know, Conquer can definitely get a catch as well, but it's not that instant pick off with something like a Blink. So you know, we could definitely see this hurt Lilgun.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And you feel much more relaxed with tossing Natsumi into these teamfights as well once he picks up that Blink Dagger, and he's only the recipe away, essentially. How quickly he's chunking down this tower with the assistance of the Siege Creep. It's nuts.
Top will fall.
Top tower has fallen.
They do find the Ember. Can they chainlock Yopaj in perfectly with the Jewel? That'll be the first victory of the game. Dire, they're still thinking about taking a fight. CTM, Moonlight shadowed. They had a sentry drop, but it was just out of range. So they'll try and jump simultaneously on the backline once again. Another great carapace, but the arena's locking 1-2-3 away from CTM. The torrent forces him not to be able to disengage, but there's the RP onto 3. Januel's gonna have the avalanche toss as well, but a great carapace stops the toss. They're still taking way too much damage, so they can't continue on with the fight. Your support, Tiny, has a triple kill. Can he make it an ultra as well? He can't. But they still find 4. What a great swing on to try and clean up that fight, even without the Ember.
Even without the Ember, they did a good job as well. You know, they were going into the Ember, but while he was in the chain lockdown, also making sure to focus down the last HP of the tower so that that TP rotation couldn't come through from the Magnus. But the fight just dragged on way too long. Again, good use of the Carapace, but when you hit a 3-man RP, it's enough setup that even a support Tiny, he's level 10 now, is able to get so much done.
What do you think Hishki's talking about when to the boys? What are the comms when he is like, Mag did so all this damage?
Don't worry, guys. I got you. I'm a spiky boy.
I'm gonna have to protect you somehow.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
Hishki
And now
does
you've
his
even
best.
got the Blink Dagger on Zhao. 17 minutes in, pos 5. Oh, they land the arrow in onto the Conquer. They've got the Spirit Vessel as well.
Nice try with the Spike Carapace. Jewel's gonna fly.
5.
That is a Soulbind Jewel as well. There's one victory. Is that a second? But again, look at the cleave damage. Natsumi and Yopaj, this Empower buff up. It is too much for Lilgun to handle.
Whoa, so much. Not even needing the RP that time. Just the chain lockdown able to be used through. I don't think he even had the Empower on Yopaj at the time. It was just that double damage combined together with the Orb of Corrosion.
And now they're even gonna take a stack away at the Ancients. And what has 1, 2, 3 got at the moment? He's still trying to work on a BKB, so this will give you a way to not have to worry about the arena. But I feel like RP and all that physical damage still might be a considerable amount of damage. So they're gonna come on over Radiant. See how they're able to take this. RP's up, arena's up. Honestly, all the ultimates on Neon are up. So they know how strong they are, and then forcing Roche, they're like, okay, we either get it for free or we take a team fight at our peak.
I think they're like, all right, let's not go up onto the high ground just yet. Back off. Natsumi had about 13 seconds left on the BKB at that timing. It's going to be back up now as he's just trying to man fight against Roche.
Radiant.
The stun. They're going to be able to get the backstab here.
Let's see.
My God.
Yeah, they're trying to set up here on
Blink Dagger,
Marvel.
yeah.
They are just going to get pushed away. Again, they don't really have the way to start it, and it's actually Dire that are going to smoke up. It did end up popping.
Yeah, broke it. They should know this is happening, though. They just switched positions.
Scan connects, they're well aware. Radiant got a great ward on the higher ground too. Hishki, CTM, Arena, Spear,
Ooh,
actually off the mark. Januel, meanwhile, the simultaneous jump on the higher ground, but it's away from the team. Once again with this cube of the turret, it actually got the connection on top of the Magnus, so he hasn't dropped the ultimate just yet. Now with the BKB pop, the RP will fly through. Shockwave drags back, but is all the cleave damage going to be enough? Lycan is standing his ground, trying to man fight with the Presti attack. They actually kill off the Magnus, and they kill off the Ember as well. Lilgun. An incredible fight from them, the opposite side of their high ground, but they're able to stand firm and bring down for it. Into the Roche pit they go.
That was Hishki being the MVP. Smoke, scouts out the smoke with the use of the Vendetta, able to dodge out the Arena of Blood, dodges the arrow, dodges the spear as well, follow up, even able to get the double stun in onto them, so they're already fighting. Oh, Zhao's in pretty deep here.
Dire coming. They've only got 3 numbers at the moment. That's just more dual damage. So they haven't got the victory just yet. Grace Spear locking in Marvel. He's got a DD, but God's Rebuke is still on cooldown. Maybe he can kite this long enough. Marvel is pushing on forward. Not going to be enough damage from the God's Rebuke. Meanwhile, Play Hard as well is in trouble. They've killed off the Mars. They're going to kill off the Mirana. They want a little bit of revenge. Press the attack. Not going to get enough health back. Yopaj also deals with the first life, and Natsumi's back up. Skewer's on cooldown, so he's just going to be forced to pop the BKB. It does mean that Nyx Assassin will not have the same fate as the Lycan, so he's going to end up falling.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Much more back and forth than we were expecting, you know, based off of a single team fight. You know, they were able to claim the Aegis. It ends up getting reclaimed, basically, instantly, but denying it away from Neon means that it's only a 3k net worth lead. And, well, got a chance here, Lilgun. The Lycan's gonna fall off. That's the downside. So he's looking to rush into picking up that AC, not just for himself and their damage potential, but because, you know, even the tiny health is going to start coming into his own with some of these right clicks as the tree grab starts to level up.
What do you reckon Mag goes for with that 20 talent? You reckon it's going to be the skill range or the health?
I feel like you're beyond the point now where the skill range is going to be mega impactful. It depends, right? If he thinks he needs to continue farming, then maybe he'll just go for the skewer range just to essentially be like a pseudo anti-mage with blinking around the map with your blink dagger, and then you know, just skewering to the next camp. But they're hungry. Lilgun, they spot him out.
Natsumi. Can he pop BKB? He's not fast enough. Marvel gets the duel. And they're going to be able to find a victory. They're still looking for more. Januel committing the big toss, but the spear actually doesn't find the connection on the tree. Arena onto forward.
Arena does.
Back and forth. Look at all the damage. Radiant. They've lost 2, but they're still tearing apart Neon. The damage without the Magnus isn't enough. Januel's going to try and blink and forward with the avalanche toss. Yopaj is still in fighting condition, and they're going to look to punish. They'll lose 4 and make it a 5th, as it'll be a team wipe in the end. CTM will blink in, claim with the spear, getting dropped along with the God Rebuke. What a big fight for Neon.
Just backing up there, boys. You know, they get that instant chain lockdown onto the Magnus, but just overstaying their welcome a little bit. You know, going in onto the the Dire Tri-Camp area. That's not the space you want to be. They had no vision at the time. Buyback had to be used on to play hard, but for a 5-man turnaround, you'll take that every day.
Now potentially a T2 tower as well, getting picked up. CTM is getting stalked. Oh. Uh-oh.
No matter.
I need Yopaj. Here comes the saving grace. Arrow off the mark. Yeah, Yopaj got no mana as well, so he actually has to be pretty careful.
I think if they had the shapeshift, that would be a different story, but 1, 2, 3 still having about 20 seconds left on it. Only level 15 as well. That's the big concern. You know, falling well behind in levels is this Lilgun.
Yeah, 4, 4, and 10 right now here for 1, 2, 3, and we've seen the progression for him level-wise and item-wise as well. Is just he's 3rd in net worth, but we're not feeling it at the moment.
No. Actually able to catch that Natsumi again, but Zhao's in position to be able to back this up.
This time, skewer.
The RP.
RP on 3. Arrow's going to miss, but Januel with the avalanche toss. The combo is there with all the go here with damage. They'll find a 3rd. Meanwhile, CTM off to the western side here, going to be able to drop the arena, locking in the Conquer and Lycan. Means that Natsumi can blink on 4. They don't have the control just yet. Sanctity popping the haste rune in the bottle. And even with the buyback, that's an instant death from Ace. He's just going to tank the fall there. So Conquer and Lycan can reset back to safety.
You have to admire the guts coming out from Lilgun. You know, they're not giving in at all, but just this execution coming through from Neon way too high. And all the crowd control that they have as well. You know, an LC, it's nice to be able to provide that little bit of extra save with the press of the attack. Not enough. You know, you've got stuns or some form of lockdown on every single Neon hero right now.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Wow, he was only about 2k behind Lycan before that fight, and all of a sudden Mag is about to be 16,000 net worth. Almost AC completed up for Natsumi himself. Yopaj too is also level 20, so went for that spell amplification into the BKB. They are just on another level right now, Neon, and they're unrelentless pressure. You know, we got 56 kills, 25 minutes in. Courier? Well, they see Sanctity. They saw the Tidebringer, so Ava toss once again. We just see the synergy is constantly there. Like, you've got so much AoE follow up for the RP. Great setup for the arrows. Marvel? Oh, they're gonna lose the magic immunity and they'll find a secondary pickoff. They're just across the map constantly from Neon. It really feels like Lilgun are just getting outmaneuvered.
And it shows that Neon, they're keen to try and end this game as quickly as possible. They know that even though they've got a ton of right-click damage with the Magnus, with the Ember Spirit, it's about these BKB timings that they can't afford to let Lilgun reach. They're still about 2,000 gold away, so
Natsumi gets
make something happen.
How are they getting so many heroes in all their uses of abilities? That's just a skill. They call it. All right.
Celebratory RP, celebratory arena, just fighting amongst the boys.
That is a incredible game 1 performance. The alley oop combo helping out with that safe lane from Neon, and honestly, all the lanes went really well for them here in this game 1.
Oh yeah. Can't find too much to criticize Neon about that time around. Even the team fights that didn't go as well for them, it was based on individual brilliance. Like, I think Hishki played fantastically, again, as we've become accustomed to with this next assassin, but, I mean, so many stuns, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, there is,
Look
unfortunately.
at Marvel's net worth. He was a poor boy.
Yeah, that was, I mean, Hishki was neck and neck with his net worth. That was not a fun game at all, and I can only imagine he wasn't enjoying the lane. Like, when you're going up against a filthy combo like that, it's just like, guys, what do I do? Like, you're just asking for assistance, but you really know, like, no assistance can come. And, you know, without a Legion, they still were able to take some decent fights there for Lilgun, but Neon, just the ramp of aggression they were able to have, always using their power spikes to their advantage, are able to take game 1 here. And with that being said, we'll send it to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more action between OB.Neon and Lilgun.